Okay, I'm Chris Johns, and I'm doing a flute methods video for my woodwind class at the University of Arkansas. This is Brittany. She's going to be my Padawan student for today. She's never played the flute before. She had a brief stint with the Harmony Girl band a long time ago, but it wasn't on flute. So I'm going to attempt to teach her how to play the flute today. So, wave at the camera. Okay, so Brittany, when you ever enter to play the flute, if you ever decide to pick up the flute and play the harmony, you always want to make sure to have your flute case straight up with the logo up. If your case don't have the logo, there's these nifty latches on the front to keep the case from opening and falling open that you can use for reference that the case is actually up. That way you don't open the flute upside down and then your instrument comes falling out. You bend it, you got to pay for it. So why don't you go ahead and try to open the case for me. Did that like a pro. Alright, so this is the flute, and this one here, right here, is what we will call the head joint. It's what they refer to as the head joint. It's got a nice hole for you to blow into. It will make a sound come out of the body of the flute. It's pretty interesting. This right here is what we refer to as the body of the flute. You want to always be very careful with this because, as you see, there's rods, keys all the way down there. They bend very easily. They can be costly to repair. Repairs are never fun. And then the final piece of the flute, just a three-piece instrument, is this small little thing right here called the foot joint. And it's much like the body. Has rods, keys, bend very easily. If you drop it, or get yelled at by band directors and people throw batons at you and try to stab you and stuff like that. You never want that to happen. Okay, so now we're going to try to work with some breathing exercises. That way we can get you prepared to play the flute. The flute's a very difficult instrument to play. It takes almost as much air as the tuba, which is kind of weird, isn't it? Because it's so small, and yet it takes as much air as a tuba player. So you may pass out. Hope not. We might find some medical attention somewhere. We're in the middle of the woods, so it would not be wise to pass out. So, if you wouldn't mind, we will start by letting you know how to make the correct shape with your mouth to produce a quality sound on the flute. And how we do this is by saying "hoo." And when you say "hoo," you'll feel your mouth round around. It's almost like you're whistling. So why don't you do that with me? So go "hoo." "Hoo," like say it like you're having fun and like you don't feel like you "hoo." You get some force behind that. Okay? Whistle. You know how to whistle? Okay, so try to whistle. Okay, do it longer than just a So you see how you're forcing air through the small opening in your mouth? That's going to be vital for making a flute make a correct sound, right? So what you're going to do now is with this same kind of concept with how we're shaping our mouth into the shape kind of like a whistle, we're going to act like we're spitting rice through this little hole in our mouth. So we're going to blow, and we're going to kind of like take our tongue and hit the back of our teeth like we're spitting rice through our teeth, okay? So it's kind of like, so do that with me. That works too, but that's a good concept for getting the tongue behind the teeth, right? But the problem with that is we're not making the correct shape with our mouth that we'll need to play the flute, right? So what we're going to need to do is try to do the "hoo" sound and get that right shape while doing and spitting the rice as you're visualizing both of those concepts. So let's try it again. Very good. You do that like a pro. Alright, so I know you have heard of what a beat is before, haven't you? So you understand beats and how, like, if I say play 4 beats, what would you do? Play 4 beats, right? So if 4 clicks, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to use this concept we just learned and we are going to use the 4 beats. And we're going to do this for 4 beats, and we're just going to hold a stream of air using the who method, and we're just going to blow a steady stream of air for 4 beats, okay? So do it. I'm going to do it first, and you just do it after me, okay? So it's going to be something like this. It's going to be... Okay? You try it. Almost ran out of air, didn't you? You might want to get a little bit bigger breath. What you need to do is when you go to breathe, try to bring every bit of air that you can, and as quick as you can. Breathe from the pit of your stomach using your muscles from your diaphragm to pull down on your lungs to bring your air. And I don't want to be confusing about that, so why don't you just try to envision that you're breathing in through your belly button. Does that make sense? Like you're pulling the air from here, like, and not like this. You don't want to, because then you're playing the flute, and when you go, you know, I mean, you're just like all cramped up. It's not going to be good. You could drop your flute, band director can throw a stand at you. You don't want that. Sorry, I'm trying to make it a little comical for you, so it's interesting, you know. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to do that again, and make sure to get a big commanding breath. Breathe. Yeah, take a drink of the water. Get a big commanding breath and breathe in through your stomach, okay? Okay. So I'm going to do it once, and then you do it. Okay? So we're going to go. Good breath in. Okay? We try it. 1, 2, ready, go.
Oh. Go, do it again.
Okay, ready? Okay, ready. Take 2. 1, 2, ready, go. That's good. You're probably not as loud as me. I'm off a big fella. I can get a lot of air out and awful quick too. I'm also trained to breathe correctly. Alright, so you've got that concept down. So let's try to do a few of using the spitting rice technique. Let's try to interrupt the air while we're doing that. That makes sense. Same concept. What we're going to do is we will hold the whole 4 notes we just held before, and then we're going to do 4. We're going to spit 4 pieces of rice, essentially. We're going to do that one after another, kind of like this. It's going to be. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So I'm going to do it one more time, and then you try to do it. If you can't make it all through all the section, feel free to take a breath. Okay? I don't want you to pass out. Like I said, we're in the woods. EMTs are kind of hard to get here. Here we go. So we're going to do this. 1, 2, ready. Okay? Got that? 1, 2, ready. Breathe. Very good. Very good. Okay, so now let's try to do, you think we can take this same concept and move over to the head joint? You feel confident that you understand how to interrupt the airstream correctly? And you don't think you'll pass out? Okay, so let's try this. Once you pick it up. Okay. Now what you're going to do with the head joint is you're going to take and you're going to put the center of the hole here. We refer to this as the blowhole. This gets the sound into the flute, right? And we're going to put it over the center of your lips. And we don't play it like that, but it's a good point of reference. You're going to take the hole and center it with your lips, and you're going to roll it down so that it sits right under the bottom lip. Okay? Try that for me. Okay? Does that feel weird? Feel strange? It's kind of a weird instrument. Okay. Now, do you want to try to make a sound on it? We're using the who technique, just who and blow. Oh, you did that really good. Surprisingly good. Okay. So, what have you learned so far?
How to blow through it.
How to blow through it. That's good enough, I guess. You have learned how to blow through it, but you've learned how to blow rice through it, right? Blowing rice concept.
Mm-hmm.
Won't you try to blow rice through it? Play a few beats. You did that really good. Very, very good. Okay. Well, now we're obviously can move past the head joint because, well, I guess we could try one more thing on the head joint. Since you think you don't want to pass out, and you don't think you'll pass out, what I want you to do is I'm going to play a little bit on it, and I want you to play exactly what I play after. Okay? So here we go. You think you can do that? All right. Now you've got 16 beats now. It's a little harder when you have to add things to it, isn't it? Now when you're playing, make sure that you keep it firm and steady. You're holding it with both hands, which is really good. But you're trying to, when you're not getting notes out, you're trying to roll it in a little bit. Why it seems like it's easier to get better, it's going to affect the pitch of the instrument when you get it all together. And it really will affect your articulation, which is your spinning rice technique as you go down the road and advance as a flute player. Okay? If you choose to continue playing the flute after tonight.